From the great Pacific Northwest in the shadow of Mount Olympus, well met wherever you may be, from the fields of Elysium to the frigid gates of Helheim, I'm Merv Gnomon, and we are Realm Walking. Our guests tonight are Keith Ridley and Allen Bartlett of the paranormal television series that started them all, Paranormal Pursuits. They're here with us tonight to discuss their approach to paranormal investigation as part of New England Supernatural Society. But first, what they don't want you to know. With special news correspondent Richard Head.
A spokesperson from the town of Patterson, Minnesota has confirmed that 5 homes were broken into on Tuesday. According to Patterson Representative Joseph Ingram, Patterson police were notified of a series of home burglaries in the area of Spruce Street and Garvin Road on Tuesday between the hours of 9 and 11 p.m.
From what we've been able to gather at this time, we know that there were 5 burglars Tuesday night and they all had similarities between them. All the homes had been entered in the same way and had the same types of items stolen from them. Also, all the homes that were affected had the same strange odor on the inside. All the homes were entered forcefully near the rear of the residence, and none of the occupants were home during any of the burglaries. It appears at this time that all the suspects went between the homes using the woods behind the houses. All of the burglarized homes back up to a sizable wooded area. Large footprints were found leading to and from the homes and the wood line.
Patterson police are actively investigating the burglaries and have increased patrols between the area of Spruce Street and Garvin Road. Ross Pelton is one of the residents whose home was broken in on Tuesday while he and his family were out of town.
No, it's not something you'd expect around here. We've been here going on for about 15 years now and haven't heard or had any problems. It's a pretty big shock to the entire neighborhood.
When asked how the suspects enter his home, Mr. Pelton had this to say.
Honestly, it looks like they just ran through the back wall with a truck. It's a huge hole about 9 or 10 feet high and about the same across. It's the same in all the places it got hit. It looks like they made the holes and then went out on foot. You can see their tracks all through the houses. They went straight for any electronics and high-dollar items they could find. They took all my wife's jewelry and my entire firearm cabinet. It's going to be about 10 or 11,000 that they made off with. And that's not including fixing the giant hole or the steam cleaning it's going to take to get that smell out of there.
We asked Mr. Pelton if he had any advice for the public.
Stay at home? Hell, I don't know. I just got robbed. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen.
Patterson residents are asked to report anything they see, hear, or smell that seems unusual or out of the ordinary. Anyone with any information about these burglaries or with private camera footage relevant to the crimes is asked to contact the Patterson Police Department.
If I told you you'd be healthier if you were just a bit more active in your everyday life, would you do it? Probably not, but what if I told you you could guarantee a healthier life and all you have to do is take one tiny tablet? It's called Merston, and I want to help you try it risk-free. Hi friends, Merv Gnomon here. Merston is the easiest way for me to ensure my well-being every day. After I take my Merston tablet once, 3 times daily, I feel the results. I can feel the toxins leaving my body, and I have more energy 10 minutes after the dosage. Merston is packed full of all-natural, lab-created cleansing enhancers that supercharge your immune system. And today, with your first order of Merston, you'll receive these 4 fabulous free gifts. 1 free bonus supply tablet of Merston, a walk to your mailbox, a free t-shirt, and a free mystery gift shipped in discreet packaging to protect your modesty. It's time to take back control of your life. Order today. It'll also help you lose weight. "15 years ago, the world was introduced to 2 seemingly ordinary men with ordinary jobs living in an ordinary world, but they like to hunt ghosts as a hobby. With that being not so ordinary, the powers that be deemed them interesting enough to have their own television show. Keith Ridley and Allen Bartlett are the stars of Phantom Pursuits, television's longest-running paranormal spectacle. Neither of them have scientific training, nor do they claim to have supernatural powers to help them in their search for the unknown. Keith and Allen conduct their investigations on the basis of practicality and logic. They also claim that unlike the other shows who have blatantly stolen their idea, that 90% of the cases that they take on are not actually paranormal events, but delusional people with absolutely no common sense. Keith, Allen, glad you could be here with us tonight. How have you been?
Great, Merv. Glad to be here.
Yep.
Well, that's good to hear. How did you fellas find yourself in this line of work? I mean, you guys come from some pretty humble beginnings here, starting off as garbage men and all. But how exactly does one make the jump from that line of work to hunting ghosts?
Sanitation engineer is a preferred term.
It's not that far of a leap when you think about it, Merv.
Oh, really? How's that?
Well, you see, Merv, as garbage men, we obviously have a very unique perspective on the human condition. By seeing other people's garbage on a daily basis, we get a look into the way people think and that.
He's trying to make it sound like we know more about you than you do because we pick up your trash.
If you want to be blunt about it, then yeah, we know what people think because we see what they throw away.
And how does this help with all the woo-woo stuff?
Because in knowing what people think in life, we gain a better knowledge of what they think
They don't.
Okay, so how did you get into this work?
As a child, I grew up on a haunted farm.
Really?
Oh yeah, I experienced lots of things living there.
For example?
Well, disembodied voices, apparitions, smells, you name it, and it happened in that farmhouse. Well, me and Keith, we've been best friends for the past 25 years, and when he came to me with the idea of starting up Nest, I couldn't pass up the opportunity.
How about you, Keith? Why did you start Ness?
I have 3 kids and I just needed an excuse not to be home every weekend.
That's it? No previous paranormal experiences? Nothing happened to you earlier in life to push you to look for answers of an afterlife?
Nah, nothing that ain't happened to anybody else. Nothing that couldn't be explained anyway.
Well, that's right. You guys believe that 90% of the cases aren't paranormal.
Yeah,
That's right.
Well, that doesn't leave a lot of room for the ones that are, does it?
But nah, Merv, it sure does.
10%. At least 10%.
Nah, I guess you're right, but if it's not paranormal, then what is it?
Well, a lot of the time, most paranormal activity can be written off as being unidentified natural phenomena that the client can discern.
Like what?
Old piping in a building, a creaky stair, a floorboard, a breeze from an improperly sealed door or window.
Stupidity.
Keith, come on.
It's the truth.
But I don't think that's the appropriate way for you to be addressing things while we're on the radio.
No, Alan. I'm intrigued. Let him continue. Keith, go on.
People are stupid, Merv. They're ready to believe in anything. One time we had an investigation. It was this private residence where there were reports from the homeowners that there was this full-body apparition of a Civil War doctor roaming around the house. These folks had just bought the house, and they were in the process of remodeling the place when the activity suddenly started. Countless people have witnessed this apparition firsthand, and everybody we interviewed that was involved gave the exact same description of this doctor.
But you had your suspicions, right?
Always. People can't be trusted, Merv. There's a reason eyewitness testimony doesn't hold up in court.
I think,
Nah, Merv, it's best not to question.
Oh, okay, right. Go ahead, Keith.
So anyway, we show up in the big van with the show logo on the side, our Alliance camera action. Everything these people want. We do a walkthrough with them, go over their claims one last time, and they guarantee that we will have an experience here. They say we will get the most convincing evidence we have ever captured in our entire careers here at their house.
And you didn't believe them?
No, I wasn't convinced. These people think they know what a ghost is because they've seen us tell about it on TV. These people aren't seasoned professionals who've been doing this job for years. They see shows like ours and they think it's okay to go out and start looking for ghosts or try to pick a fight with them. They don't know what they're talking about. This whole field has been overrun by scammers and tough guy con artists trying to pass themselves off as a real deal, and nobody thinks they can just...
So you start the investigation.
Oh, yeah, sorry. We started the investigation, and as soon as Alan and I walked in, I could tell something was off.
Well, how's that? Was there some kind of an energy in the air?
No, not exactly. It was just, something wasn't quite right.
Well, what happened next?
Well, the owners claimed that the entire house was so active, so we went to the living room and started an EVP session. We started with the normal questions. Can you hear us? What's your name? Etc., etc. And after about 5 minutes, a man who looked like he could have been a Civil War doctor walked in and sat down and started having a conversation with us.
You're kidding, right?
No.
Well, what did he say?
We talked with him for about 4 hours. He told us about his former life there in the house and talked about his time as a doctor during the war and all the things he witnessed because of it.
Oh, boy, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, he even told us that it was because of the recent renovations that he had to come back. He said he didn't know why, but as soon as he got word in the afterlife that somebody was working on his old home, he had to come back, like it was mandatory for him to do so or something.
Well, that sounds amazing. You boys sure got that guaranteed experience, didn't you?
Not at all.
Nope.
Well, why not?
After it was all over with, we went back to review our evidence, and we found that the entire experience was caused by the shoddy plumbing job that had just been done during the remodel.
Wait, What?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're telling me this ghost was caused by bad plumbing?
Yeah, you probably, Merv. And now you see why a lot of these so-called harms are caused by stupidity. You have to use common sense when approaching these investigations. Most teams would have seen the so-called apparition and thought they had just hit the paranormal jackpot. Not us. Not Ness. We debunked the hell out of that ghost, and we'll let the people know that there wasn't anything to worry about in their home.
Wow. Alan, do you have anything to add to this?
No, yeah, he's right, Merv. It was the plumbing.
You guys talked to rattling pipes for 4 hours?
Well, to be fair, it was very convincing at the time.
Wow, I just, wow.
I know, but wait until you hear this.
Go ahead, Alan, I'm all ears.
Our team had been called in to investigate a little small family-owned flower shop, and I can't remember exactly where, but it was some little small town in Missouri.
Yeah.
The shop had been owned by the same family since back in the late 1800s, but before they came into their possession, it had been the town's funeral parlor.
Oh, well, there has to be a ghost there.
Exactly. The family also told us that since they had owned it, there had been stories about strange happenings going on inside the building.
Go ahead and tell us about that.
Well, there were cold spots all around the place, and sometimes there wouldn't even be around a door or a window.
Definitely ghosts.
And then things would go missing, like someone would leave their cell phone or $5 sitting on the counter, and the next thing you know, it would be gone, never to be seen again.
Well, that's getting into poltergeist territory, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. They also have reports of people being violently attacked when working late and closing up shop. We came to the conclusion that we were probably dealing with some type of malevolent spirit, possibly a demon.
How exciting.
Yeah, right? It seemed like a pretty promising investigation. We were getting some pretty decent evidence from the place, and then a member from our production crew was attacked.
Oh, were they hurt?
Oh yeah, it was pretty bad. He ended up with some fractured ribs and some pretty bad bruising all around.
What happened?
We were standing in the back room of the building where when it was a funeral home they used to keep the bodies, but now they just use it as storage, and we were about to start a flashlight session.
Alan, this is a family show, and I'm not sure if that's an appropriate topic of discussion for this program.
Nah, Merv, flashlight.
I thought you said.
I know what you thought. A flashlight session is where you set up a few flashlights and designate them to mean something. Most of the time, yeah, no. Then you start asking questions, and the spirit will answer through the flashlight. Damn it.
Okay, so what happened?
We just finished setting up the lights and told the spirit that the one on the right means yeah, and the one on the left means nah. And then our camera guy, Gus, was thrown 15 feet clear across the room. 15
feet? And nothing was around him?
Not a thing. The only people in the building at the time was me, Keith, and Gus.
Alan, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, it was pretty shocking until we realized that was actually just the lights of a passing car reflecting into the room from a showcase in the front of the store.
Wait.
No ghost.
But he was thrown across the room.
And Ness only deals in factual evidence, Mervyn. That's all I can give you right now.
Well, are there any cases where you found real paranormal activity?
As a matter of fact, there was one not too long ago. We were investigating an entire ghost town out in the desert. We didn't think we were getting any activity there. It was dead quiet, no pun intended. No EVP, no EMF spikes, no temperature fluctuations, nothing at all.
Well, that sounds like a terrible start to a ghost hunt.
It was. We thought we had wasted a week of filming out at this place until we started our evidence review.
Oh, well, really now?
Yeah, once we started reviewing the evidence, we noticed that on all of our cameras there were thousands of orbs swarming all around us.
Millions.
Yeah, there were so many of them, and it would happen as soon as we would enter into a room. If you watch the footage, you'll see an empty room with no activity, but as soon as a group of investigators walks in no time, the activity jumps up and there's orbs all over the place.
I would go so far as saying it's the most haunted place in the world.
The universe, even.
Calm down there, Chief.
Yeah, I would dare anyone to find a more haunted location. I'd bet my reputation on it.
Fascinating. Do you think that the spirits were attracted to you in any way?
Well, there is the theory that they need energy to be able to manifest, and with this old ghost town being out in the middle of the desert with no electricity and virtually no human contact, I think that they were drawn to us as an energy source.
Definitely.
Amazing. Well, guys, we got a break to take. How do you feel about taking some calls when we come back?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be right back with Keith and Alan from Phantom Pursuits, right here on Realm Walking.
Here to take a walk? Sign up through Patreon and become a Realm Walker today, and communicate with Merv anytime through the conduit for as low as $1 a month. Send your comments and questions through the conduit, and Merv may read them in a future show.
Go to patreon.com/realmwalking and sign up now to become a realm walker.
Who am I? Page 536. What should I do? Page 21. When is now? Page 880. What's the point? Page 4242. What's going to happen? Page 111. Where do I belong? Page 1. Cogversance by Ezra V. Cochran. Buy your copy today wherever fine books are sold. The truth is you.
Practicing social distancing since 1988. This is Realm Walking with Merv Gnomon.
We're back here with Keith and Alan from Phantom Pursuits. What do you say, fellas? Ready to take some calls?
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right, south of the 33rd, you're realm walking.
Hey y'all, it's Terry from Georgia. How y'all doing?
Nah.
Good, and yourself?
Do you have a question for the guys tonight, Terry?
I sure do, Merv. You boys know that down here in Georgia we have a whole bunch of spooky ghosts and stuff, right?
That's debatable.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Well, I was wondering if them ghosts is watching me. Can they see what I'm doing? 'Cause I ain't want my Grandma Mavis, God rest her soul, all up in my business watching me, 'cause Terry gets up to some stuff, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I need my privacy, and I can't be worried about some dead man watching me all the time.
If it's what we call a residual haunting, then from what we know, they can't see you. A residual haunting is like a recording of a part of a ghost's life set on loop. When you hear about people seeing ghosts walk through walls, that's usually a residual haunting, and the spirits walk through where a door used to be or something like that. But if it's an intelligent haunting, then yeah, it probably is watching you. Intelligent hauntings are just that, intelligent. They can communicate and interact with us here in this world, so one would assume that they can see us. Does that answer your question?
Well, I guess, but what do I do about it? I don't want them here spying on me from the other side.
Have you seen any ghosts?
Well, no, not yet, but I can feel them eyeing me all the time. I know they're around here somewhere. I just ain't been able to catch them looking yet.
Honestly, you probably don't have ghosts. It really sounds like you're just experiencing some side effects from a dirty AC filter. When's the last time you replaced a filter in your air conditioner?
Lord, I don't know.
Yeah, that's probably it. It's an easy fix. You don't even gotta buy a new one. Just take the old one out, run a hose over it, and it'll be as good as new.
All right, I'll try it out. Y'all be good now.
Keith, that's amazing. How'd you know it was the air filter?
Common sense, Merv. Everybody knows that a dirty filter can cause paranoia.
Yeah, Merv, we've been doing this for so long, it's basically second nature now. That's another case solved for Ness. Let's move on to the next.
Sure thing. North of the 33rd parallel, you're realm walking.
Yeah, I was wondering, the house with the doctor, did you guys ever do any research into the house? Was it ever used as a hospital during the war? Did a doctor ever actually live there at any point in history?
During the renovation, the owners had come across some of the doctor's old pictures and had them out on display. So going into the investigation, we knew 100% that at one point a doctor had lived there.
And if you watch the show, then you know that Amy Hall is Ness's dedicated researcher. And in that case, she was able to find all kinds of records showing that the house and the property were owned by a doctor during the Civil War, and that the house itself was used as a field hospital.
Did the doctor in the pictures look anything like the apparition you guys spoke with?
Completely.
Oh, absolutely.
And you still said that the place wasn't haunted? How?
Because after the careful analysis of our evidence, we concluded that it was the bad plumbing that had caused it.
That makes no sense. How?
Listen, buddy, we sat there in that room for 4 hours and talked to this thing, and let me tell you, nobody wants it to be a ghost more than we do.
It's good for ratings.
I bet.
But we can't go against the evidence. If all signs point to it being a ghost, then great. But if it don't, then we have to tell the truth, you understand?
Yeah,
But nothing. That's the way it is.
We got a reputation to uphold, and we can't compromise it for the sake of the show. I hope you understand.
Madcap line, you're realm walking.
Merv,
Toby, it's him. Start the trace.
the bananas are green.
Yeah, I bet they are green.
The bananas are green, Merv.
Toby, send that data to Mr. Buotes when you get a chance. We've got him now.
What was that?
Just taking care of a little housekeeping. Don't pay it any mind. First time caller line, you're realm walking.
I just want to say that your show blows, and you should be embarrassed to be on TV.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
Well, you know about hunting ghosts. Way more than you. Why don't you start your own show? You know so much, pal. Why don't you stop being such a beta?
Hold on a second here. This is Max Gamgee from Ethereal Excursions, isn't it?
No. Why would you even think that? Shut up.
Oh, Max, no.
Shut up. It's not me, bro. Max, man, what are you doing? I'm not Max, bro. I wish I was because you're so alpha, but I'm not, yo. Stop saying I'm me. Him.
Listen, Max, as much as I'd like to keep you on the line, this is the first time caller line, and technically, it's not your first time. So, north of the 33rd, you're realm walking.
Hey guys, big fan of the show.
Thank you.
I know you guys think that 90% of the cases you investigate aren't paranormal, but out of the 10% that do end up being real, what is the scariest thing you've ever experienced?
Definitely has
Oh,
to be.
that's easy.
Do you want to go first?
Now you go ahead.
Alright, the scariest thing that I've ever experienced was in 1992. It was about 4:30 in the morning, and I stopped at this little corner store to pick up some breakfast before going into work. This place had the best sausage biscuits you wouldn't believe. But anyway, I was going through the store picking up a few things, and I hear something coming through the door, and I didn't think much of it. But then a second later, I hear this commotion up front, and when I looked to see, there was this guy robbing the store at gunpoint. So I hid in the back of the aisle until he left. That was the scariest thing I've ever experienced.
Well, that's a pretty compelling story, Keith, but not exactly what I think the caller had in mind. What about you, Alan? What is the scariest thing you've ever experienced that actually involves ghosts?
Haunted toaster, Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Really? Why is that?
Toasters are notoriously unpredictable on their own, and this is a toaster with a ghost in it. What's not to be afraid of?
Point taken. Why don't you guys let the people know how they can catch a show?
You can catch the show on Wednesday nights on DNA.
Honestly, you can find a show anywhere at any time. The syndication channels run it like 20-hour marathons like every 3 days.
Keith, Alan, it was great having you on. We need to do this again sometime.
Thanks, sure thing.
Of course, thank you.
For Toby Sanger, Chase Salmon, Richard Head, Riley Pitts, Michael Roch, Brandon Duvall, Megan Slayton, and Cedric Purcell, I'm Merv Gnomon. We'll see you on the next program. Until then, wash your hands.